Welcome to Throwing Ropes, everybody. Episode 11, week 11 of the Union Pier Beer League. We got the fastest 2 minutes, our start, sit, cuts. We got both Take 5 on, and two special guests this week, Steph and Kyle.
Welcome to our special guests, Stephanie and Kyle.
How you guys doing?
Thanks so much, guys, for having us. Hi.
Awesome to get you guys
Welcome,
back
guys.
in the league and on the podcast.
And on the pod.
To quote James, and we're finally on the sticks. Picking up the sticks.
Woo! They got the sticks. All right, boys and girls, let's get into this fastest 2 minutes here. Let's see. Danny, take us off.
All right. Well, so I got a big story. A lot of people are talking about this around the country. Taylor Heineke, Brandon Ayuk, and Nick Folk came upon Darnell Mooney, Derek Carr, and the Miami D outside of a used car lot and found themselves in a self-defense situation. Social Propaganda 110, Machinist 66.
Whoop! Whoop! Whoop!
All right, it was a late night at the office for the Union Pier Machines. Boss of the league, my name's Bruce, just asked for another TPS report. And sure enough, Scam Newton was at it again, fudging the numbers. So we went to the local watering hole and ran into Travis Kelce, getting yelled at by Andy Reid for his lack of flair. They got together with the Tampa Bay defense and kicked the shit out of the fax machine in stupendously slow motion. Onlookers were confused. Meanwhile, for the boss, Austin, not our Austin Eckler, was not in the conference room with Joe Not My Drink Mixon, asking Christian McCaffrey how long he could dance on top of that ball. And since he's the boss, none of it mattered anyways. My name's Bruce, 146, UP Machines 91.
Whoop! Whoop! McCaffrey.
What's up, Jeff?
Whoop!
Yo. Thought I'd be spectating.
Whoa, the battle and the battle for Whoville took place this weekend as Scoregasms took on the Shamans for one of the last gaps of oxygenated wins before the playoffs. Justin the Lorax Jefferson was speaking for the trees this weekend, and he told them that Yertle the Churtle, Nick Chubb, was going to stack up. And sure enough, the Churtle Chubb did for the Scoregasms, with a side of Chris Godwin and ham. To make matters fantoozlier, it was Hurts hearing a who for the for the Shamans, followed by Najee the Harris in the hat, who made a mess he couldn't clean up. But it was James the Grinch Connor, whose heart was 2 sizes too small to get Shamans the dub. Oh, the places Scoregasms will go. In public. Kind of gross. But an O is a win in Scoregasms' little black book. Scoregasms 138, Shamans 108.
And for our next matchup, we had a titillating competition as the Power Walkers took on the Corn Shuckers. On the Power Walker side, Aaron Ivermectin Rogers dropped a 30 burger, while J-Rob and Fournette had standard but lackluster performances. Terry McTeedy Lauren dropped an 18.8, which was great for him, but T. Higgins didn't do shit. And Antonio Gibson finished with a measly 7.5 points, but Jimmy G suspiciously stuck to the script at an even 15.64 points. The Browns and Hopkins also combined for 22 points to give Jeff 121.14. On the Corn Shuckers side, Tom Brady also stuck to the script with an average 19.28 points, but Ezekiel Elliott and Josh Jacobs were quiet on Sunday. However, Diggs and Thielen did work, but Droppy Anderson was a bad gamble. Daniel Jones had 7.68 points, which is kind of shitty. And then the Panthers also sucked, but Boswell did okay. In the end, Jeff is trying to take people with him with a 3-8 record, while Corn Shuckers are still fighting for that playoff spot at 6-5.
Let's go. Let's go. Knocking you out of the playoffs, boy.
And we start off in Nickelodeon Studios, where Team Gridiron was competing with big old titties in a slimy wet t-shirt contest. Most thought that big old titties had the advantage, you know. Until Gridiron whipped out a blast of Nickelodeon nostalgia when they brought out Keenan and Kirk for their debut new show. It didn't matter that Teddy was walking out with nipples hardened by the New England defense and Bill Belichick. And if you ignored his Devontae Adams apple, you could see why all the Trevor Siemian was raining down upon big ol' titties. But, alas, it wasn't their day. Instead, it was Gridiron's tig ol' bitties augmented by the penetrating force of Dalvin Cook to take the day. Gridiron 118, big ol' titties 110. Whoop!
Whoop! Goon Squad, sober this week, believe it or not, still fell off his horse and couldn't gallop his way to victory. Captain Jonathan Whaler roped in 5 humpbacks, but it wasn't enough to feed the whole squad. They say the older you get, the better you get, unless you're Matt Prater or a banana. Dank donkeys wanted more. A well-sealed gasket and a California pervert paved the way to the trough. Goon Squad 126, Danky Punch 134.
Oh, Matt Prater and a banana.
Banana, dude. That was money.
All right, that's the fastest 2 minutes for this week. Week 11 was crazy. I took the L to Jeff, trying to drag me down with him.
Let's take a look at the standings.
You're coming
Tommy.
with.
Yeah, we'll go to the
Actually,
standings.
guys, really quick. So I couldn't make it last week, but a friend of mine was talking to me, and he was hoping to talk to Jeffrey. Would you mind if I put him on?
Oh, go
Not
for
at
it.
all.
Okay, here I got to step out for a sec, but he's gonna pop in. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Who's here?
Hello. This is Dan K. Punch, and I would like to speak to a Jeffrey Glider.
We have him on the show.
We have him on the show.
Are you there, sir?
Hello, young man. How are we doing there?
Hi, yes, young man. So I made a purchase from you. I believe in September. A Julio Jones. Yes, I would like to return him. He stinks.
Oh my God! Drop that guy.
I
Drop
believe I
that
went
guy.
to
Drop that.
Power
Old man Danky, can you speak into the microphone a little bit better?
Power Rangers Emporium. And I also got Miles Gaskin. He stinks. I would like a refund.
Ever since those trades, Danny's team's gone downhill.
I don't know.
Cursed. Cursed. Miles Gaskin's cursed.
The
I
curse.
gotta go.
Gronk double curse.
It smells like mothballs in here. Who is that old guy? That's weird.
Who was that guy, Dan? Where'd you meet this guy?
I met him in the street somewhere. Yeah,
You
he asked
let him in your house?
Well, I just gave him a bowl of hot soup.
Yeah, definitely.
He was on
Want to
his
give
way.
him $5 and move on.
I just, he walked out, but man, he's stinky.
Speaking of
All right.
moving on, let's take a look at this playoff window. It is rapidly diminishing for Danny, me, and Jeffrey. Actually,
1% chance.
1%. It's
1%.
back. It's back.
1%.
But
Look at it's crazy that Gridiron and Scoregasms are still as high as 80.
I was gonna say, I kind of want to point out that since we took over, that Hasdale takeover, we have yet to lose.
Look at
Yeah,
that
you guys are
Very true.
cruising.
they're on a 4-game win streak.
They are cruising.
He's knocking on critical door over here.
Well done there, boys and girls. You
Yeah, I
guys
like
did
looking
well.
at the streaks.
They're playing the numbers, hitting it on the river.
And they've marched right back into playoff contention. Right now, they're sitting in 6th place. Do you
It's a
guys want to get right into
tie.
the...
5-way tie. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's
Wait,
Right. With points 4 as the tiebreaker.
and only 4 can make it.
Well, top
Great
7.
game.
Yeah, four of those 5 teams though. One of them's not gonna make it.
Dude, I got Bruce, Jack, and Uncle Jay. I'm bringing them all down with me.
I gotta turn Jeff down.
You're not beating me, Jeff. I hope so.
Hope so.
Your team doesn't score points, Jack.
My team is so bad, but we got 6 wins. We just need a couple more to secure that playoff spot.
Fuck him up,
so.
Jeff.
All right.
Plays good
All right,
defense.
boys and girls,
Plays
let's get
good
into the
defense.
fucking them up.
Speaking of toilet bowls, James, who is your start?
My start is Allen Robinson. Hear me out.
What?
Guess who's back? Back again. The Red Rifle is back again. And who's his favorite wide receiver? Yes, it's Allen Robinson.
Yeah, but even in the beginning of the season when they were playing together, he didn't do that well.
So who are you gonna play this week? If you have to play somebody, you're gonna play Darnell Mooney,
Yeah,
or you're gonna
Mooney.
play Allen Robinson, who is
Mooney.
Andy Robinson's guy. Andy Dalton's guy.
Dalton. I would do Mooney. I like Mooney.
I think Mooney is Fields' guy.
I would avoid all Bears receivers.
Yeah, good point.
Speaking of
tragedies,
tragedies,
Kyle, Steph, who's your start of the week?
Start of the week? All right, hear me out. This is a two-parter.
All right.
We're going to be starting Pollard over Sanders. We got up here because we play the statistics and the numbers. I don't believe Sanders' numbers. So we're going Pollard.
Pollard, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that pick.
I think it's a good skill to like look at ESPN's numbers and be like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Jack, who's your start?
Oh, easy. Starting Scam Newton, of course.
Yeah. He was up there
I mean,
for me.
I didn't even think he was gonna get like I think he got like 26 points, but the rest of my team was dog shit. But you know, Scam's back, so you know,
Yeah,
I think he had
I like
one
it.
rushing touchdown, 2 throwing, and he just rushed for like 50 yards. He's
No,
he's
he
a perfect
rushed-
fantasy quarterback.
He rushed.
Perfect.
He rushed 2 and threw 2.
Yeah. He was amazing. So
speaking of throwing 2 in her face, Tommy, who's your start of the week?
My start is the Patriots defense. So check this out. In the last 4 games, they've only allowed 37 points to the offenses in those 4 games. They've had 10 interceptions, 3 of which they returned for touchdowns. And in the last 4 games, they've 75 fantasy points. Like, that's unheard of from a defense.
It's crazy when if
That's
your
wild.
defense can combine 26 points with your kicker, if he scored 15. Imagine just the special teams points. That's insane.
All right, boys. Are we believers of the Patriots?
I am. I think they're a good team.
with Mac Jones, yeah, I like them. I like them.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of mac and cheese, Danny, who's your start of the week?
I'm going Carson Wentz. I think Indianapolis is on a weird tear right now. They're probably riding super high off that Bills win, and I could see him. Carson Wentz is a weird quarterback. He has really good weeks. I could see him having one this weekend.
Yeah, he'll surprise you.
Yeah.
He keeps playing well. And speaking of going to the well, Jeffrey, who's your start of the week?
Oh wow, I wasn't prepared, but you know what? I'm Jalen Hurts. Let's just go Jalen Hurts
Oh,
playing the Giants.
Why?
Bang, done.
Because he got 3 rushing or what?
Just because the dude's a horrible real quarterback, but a great fantasy quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of sitting on my face,
James, who's your who's your sit of the week? My sit of the week is I was talking about starting Allen Robinson. My sit of the week is Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah,
Why?
and
You don't like Darnell?
I told you, for all the reasons I said to start Allen Robinson, sit Darnell Mooney. I think Andy Dalton's guy is Allen Robinson. If he's not going to, Andy Dalton is not throwing it deep to Darnell Mooney unless Darnell Mooney gets a screen.
Screen pass.
No.
My sit of the week is Russell Wilson. He's got 14 total points in the last 2 weeks since returning from injury. His completion rate is down 25% since being back from injury, and Seattle just a dumpster fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of dumpster fires, Kyle and Steph, who's your sit of the week?
Oh.
We're going to set this whole thing up. We got 3 sits of the year. We're not playing by your rules.
Yes.
We got a lot of guys on bye. So I'm actually not dropping our kicker. And this is the kicker. I think he's a better player, but we're going to pick up an interim kicker. So we're going to sit him, keep him. We are going to sit Sanders. Now, a lot of people are really concerned about him because he almost had 2 different fumbles. The second one was ruled incomplete or some BS like that. But, you know, he's been out for quite a few weeks. I think that when you first come back, you know, sometimes you got those, you know, first game jitters going on. I want to see how he plays this week before I do anything. Now, they're saying they're supposed to get almost 13 points. I don't think he's going to get that, but I think he has potential to. So we're going to keep an eye on Sanders. And then our Stevenson, I don't even know how to pronounce his first name. Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. Ramondre.
I'm watching him. I think he could do quite a bit. Projected at 9.3 points. which would be a good Pollard replacement if I ever wanted him or someone got hurt. So I'm keeping him on the bench, keeping an eye on him. So those are my 3 sits.
So that's
Stevenson,
interesting. That's interesting that you're sitting Sanders and Ramondre for Pollard. But here's the thing: like, which one of those guys really the number one guy, right?
Well, none of them are really a number one guy.
No.
Sanders, I think, initially was, but again, Sanders' only good week was the first week at 15 points. Otherwise, he never got into the double digits. So he really hasn't produced as much as they think, which is, again, why I don't think, even if he was healthy, he would be at that 12.6. I'm going to give him a week. I'm going to watch him. But I don't think he is going to have as much value as they think he does.
Speaking of not producing, Jack, who's your sit of the week?
Ooh. Dude, Zach Moss is a garbage can. And I told you guys 2 weeks ago, I said they think he's going to get 12 points. He's not going to get 12 points. I'll still start him. He got 3 points that week. And then this week I had to start him again because I'm in RB hell. And I think he got like a half a point. So I'm sitting. He's got to sit. I'm going to find some guys off the waiver wire.
That's not a goose.
You know, yeah, as long as I can. I'm in hell right now, but we're trying to scrape our way back out.
Speaking of a goose cooking in hell, Danny, who's your sit of the week?
Alex Collins. Get rid of him. Pick up Ty Johnson off the waiver, James.
No way. Really? Why?
Yep. Well, what do you have? 4 points last week, and Seattle sucks.
And he's supposed to
not
be
Chris
the RB1 with what's his face
Carson.
gone?
Carson gone.
You're absolutely right. Is it time to say just vamoose?
Yep.
4, 5, and 3.
But I mean, look at that.
He's
He's been getting double-digit carries though.
And he's got no points.
But look at the rest of my running backs. Who do I pivot to?
They give DJ Dallas all the goal line work.
Ty Johnson off waivers.
These are both terrible options.
Hey, if you pick Ty Johnson's getting 10 points a game.
Jesus, is he?
Yeah, dude. I picked him up, but then I have too many running backs.
Yeah, Ty Johnson actually might be a good call for the next week or two.
Speaking of
I would
sit
do
and
if I was
spin,
you. Yep.
Speaking of what?
sit and spin, Jeff, do you have a sit?
Dude, Trevor Siemian. I cannot believe Teddy continues to roll this guy out there, and he's getting
put up 24 points.
24 points. This cannot continue. Trevor Siemian. I think he's a Northwestern grad, isn't he? Let's see ya.
Yeah, well, let's just take your word for it.
His name is Seaman, not Simeon, but the announcers just don't want to say Seaman on air. So
I can't find Seaman.
Wow.
literally just spell Seaman, Tommy. You find him.
SEI or SIE?
Tommy did it. Tommy did it. There he is.
Trevor Seaman.
Dude, look
Like
at this guy.
Simeon,
How was he doing this? How was he doing this?
10, 15, 19, 24. That is crazy.
Hey, I picked him up first 2 weeks. I knew he was going to be good.
Speaking
But
of,
we got to get Cam.
Speaking of Seaman.
Speaking of semen stains, James, who's your cut of the week? My cut of the week is Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Fitz magic is over in Washington. It's Taylor Heineke time. And is the magic over forever? I don't know. I mean, he's a 38-year-old quarterback, Harvard grad, who's, maybe destined for bigger things in the NFL.
Yeah.
I like Heine.
Heineke's good. He's been playing well.
Keep your hands off my Heine, baby.
Speaking of Heine's,
Stephanie and Kyle, who's your cuts of the week?
All right, we already took Matheson out. I already cut him. Just wasn't producing, didn't do anything. Sanjay Pierre is the other one that we're looking to get rid of. I got
Samaje Perine.
Samaje Perine.
It sounds like some weird penile disease.
Sanjay Pierre. Joe Mixon is getting healthy. He's coming back, so I don't think he's going to play. Mixon's too expensive for them to put him on the bench. So even if he doesn't produce, he's still going to be out there. I don't think he's worth keeping.
Sanjay Pierre.
I agree. You might be right.
Samaje? Can we butcher this anymore? Here, Stephanie, how do you pronounce it?
Speaking of a ham Samaje, Jack, who's your cut of the week?
Samaje?
I think that is it, actually, Steph. Samaje.
You can tell that I don't actually watch football.
Samaje.
Samaje.
He's got a great looking beard. You got to give it to him.
So Chris Carson's having a couple vertebrae fused, I believe, in his neck. So
that's good.
We're gonna have to cut him this week. It's a tough cut. I think he was my second pick.
Brutal.
Are we cutting
What a
both
second
Seattle
pick,
Seahawks?
by the way, by us. What's up?
Are we cutting both Seattle Seahawk running backs? Really?
Dude, Seattle's a
Why
dumpster
would you
fire.
drop Collins, dude? Just give if you're gonna give Collins to me.
I didn't draft him. I just picked him up for coverage.
Damn, it's a third rounder for Jack. That sucks.
And speaking of inferior coverage, Tommy, who's your cut of the week?
My cut is the New York Giants. Daniel Jones is not panning out like I thought.
Nope.
Get this. The Giants' left tackle, Andrew Thomas, has more touchdowns than their first-round draft pick and their big money wide receiver, Galladay and Tony. Their left tackle has a touchdown, and they don't.
That was going to be my drop. Kenny G was going to be my drop. Kenny Galladay.
Speaking of interrupting Jeffrey, who's your cut of the week?
Well, Kenny Galladay. Whoop.
There you go.
And speaking of awesome hilariousness, Danny, who's your cut of the week?
James. Ryan Tannehill. Get rid of him. He's facing New England, then he has a bye, and he's just looked awful.
Tannehill?
Didn't he throw 4 picks last week?
Oh, good God.
Tannehill did. Let me pull him up.
Yeah, he threw 4 interceptions against Houston.
Yeah, but the Titans are competing for playoffs.
Yeah, off the run game. I don't know. He looks weird.
Yeah, 4
Something's
interceptions.
up. They lost his coach.
How do you throw 4 picks in Houston?
Well, his coach went over to his coach was Arthur Smith, I believe, his offensive coach, and he went over to Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, then get rid of him. New England in a bye. You get a better quarterback.
AJ Brown's constantly injured, I feel like.
Julio doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Wow. And speaking of not existing, that is our sit, starts, and cuts of the week. Well done, boys and girls. Whoop.
There we go. There we go.
Now it feels normal.
There it is.
All right, boys. and girls.
So the Bears, even with Lamar Jackson's broken butthole, they didn't have Marquise Brown in either, and they still couldn't pull off the dub. So I do have one story because I was actually at the Bears game on Sunday.
Yeah, how was the game?
Oh yeah, nice.
I mean, it was still awesome tailgating and hanging out with friends and stuff. But there was one thing that happened that was so funny. So the crowd, we literally changed Matt Nagy's mind by booing him because it was a 4th and 1, and every other team in the league is going for 4th and 1s.
Oh, he
now.
lost his
Right.
mic.
So he was going to punt, and the crowd just starts booing, and then we booed so loud that all of a sudden he calls a timeout and he changes his mind and he goes to go for it, and they don't get the yard. And then the crowd starts chanting "Fire Nagy," and and that just built up. And then I saw a video later that obviously I didn't see it while I was at the game, but during that chanting, there's a video of Matt Nagy on the sideline just losing his mind and yelling and screaming. Yeah.
So his son had a high school football game, and that chant erupted while his son. He was there. Nagy was there. Fire Nagy erupted during his son's football game.
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
I also heard the Bulls game. They did it at the Bulls game. Fire
Bulls.
Nagy.
I think like that's more
Apparently,
appropriate.
They used to do that to Doug Collins' kid, Zach Collins, when he played for one of the high schools back in the 90s. He was a basketball player. One of the coaches was Doug Collins. So, it's kind of no stranger to that, but still all the same, yeah, it kind of sucks to hear.
You know,
I just say that I have a lot of hope for Fields. Like, I can see him playing, and like the one time that we actually saw a little bit of the Bears game, I saw him play, and that was when he hyperextended his knee, and I was like, oh my God, you should just take it easy. But he was like, fuck no, I'm getting back out there, and I'm like, dude, it's okay, just take it easy. But man, through the rest of the game, he's actually a really good quarterback. I hope he doesn't screw himself up. I hope that he has a long career because he actually could be.
So you're a Fields fan.
I would buy his jersey personally.
I have it.
Ooh.
I'm on board.
He's got the fire. He's got the drive. He wants it, and he wanted to get out there and prove that he could.
I don't think I'm going to buy it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we were having this argument, or we were having this conversation in a text thread the other day that I don't think it really matters how talented the quarterback is to an extent. It's about the actual organization and the coaching. Like Pat Mahomes on the Bears wouldn't be that good.
No.
And Justin Fields, I don't know, in KC or under Belichick would be a superstar, probably, or it's like more likely.
At least in their rookie infancy stages of their career. Like Mahomes could probably come over now and figure it out, but
That's why I don't want to hurt him.
He can't build a team though.
If we can just lock that position down and stay there, they'll keep firing coach after coach until they get him a good one. But
he'll get fucked up. Like he's gonna get injured before the Bears
he's
get
the
a good
most
coach.
sacked quarterback. He's the most sacked quarterback of the season. He has like 34 sacks. And that's why he's broken ribs right now.
That's wild.
Does he really have 30?
I'm serious. Go look it up.
I don't know if you have.
Oh, hey, there we go. Start of the week. The Lions D.
Yeah,
No, he's not playing. He's not playing. Just kidding.
I think Dalton's gonna light it up. You know,
It's at
Do you think
Detroit.
they last that long getting to this?
What was
Guys, check this out. Jonathan Taylor got Uncle Jay more points than 6 other players on his roster.
Combined.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You mean
6 other players, but Danny still got him. Danny still
if
got
I
him.
lost
Did he
that
break any
game, I
records?
would have quit.
Yeah, that would have been bad. I can't believe he put up that many points. 51.
I feel like he broke records. Can you click on his thing?
I think it was the third most all time, like yards and touchdowns.
dude,
Third most.
Jonathan Taylor right now is getting plus 250 for MVP votes. I'm telling you, put some money on this guy for MVP.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
The last running back that was MVP was Adrian Peterson, and his numbers are like already comparable to what AP has.
Damn.
Wow. So there's
Wait,
that.
it's 250 to 1.
Oh.
No, 2500.
Yeah. So
All right.
$10 would pay 250.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I did. That's what I did. Threw $10 on it.
That's not a bad bet. The Bears have never fired a coach mid-season, but has
speaking of
anybody else
Bears.
heard this? Has anybody heard this rumor that Thanksgiving will be his last game?
Dude,
Yeah.
so okay.
It says
So
on Reddit.
today was very awkward. Like I know a lot of you guys are plugged into like ESPN 1000 and those sports radio guys, but they're saying what happened today was a catastrophe. This rumor comes out, they send their special teams coordinator out first to answer these questions. Poor guy doesn't know what to say. Then Nagy comes on, and the organization still hasn't came out with the statement. It's just a bunch of mockery, buffoonery going on.
What I'll say is that I would not, even if I was a great coach, I would not want to be a coach for Chicago. Because no matter who it is, they're going to be under so much fire and so much scrutiny.
Yeah, it kind of ruins your image for.
They really
afterward.
fucked this up because, I mean, there's no way Maggie can make it the rest of the season. He can't finish the season like this. They're going to have to fire him before the season ends, and he knows that they know it. But also, this leaked. This is the most worst rock in a hard place ever. And then also, like you just said, Kyle, like how could this be a desirable destination at that point? Even though Justin Fields is here, I mean, there's lots of good stuff here. But that media, I mean, like that's kind of crazy.
Do they lose on Thursday? Are they losing?
And,
I think so.
And why
I
does
think
Pace,
the Lions are going to get their
why does
first
Pace
dub.
get to remain? Why does Pace get to stay?
He's gone. He's gone. If Nagy's gone, Pace is gone. For sure.
All right, how about this one? Baker Mayfield, he got booed out of his own stadium, the same stadium that he does all those commercials where he's like, my house. Like,
wow.
it's like his house.
What
He
do you
got
do with
booed out of
Baker?
his own stadium. I don't know, man.
I think the name of the game is do not do commercials as an NFL player. Every single one that's done them has had a terrible season or got injured.
Wow,
Well,
yeah,
Aaron
Mahomes,
Rodgers.
except for Aaron
That's true.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers and Brady are okay, but Derrick Henry injured, Mahomes
yeah.
doing
Aaron
bad,
Rodgers is alive.
Mayfield bad, Kamara bad.
OBJ did one a couple years ago.
Yeah, just don't do commercials.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Bad for you.
But God, how embarrassing though. Get booed out of your own
This is your
stadium.
brain. This is your brain on commercials.
This is your brain.
I feel like
All right.
Nagy heard those chants and he was like, "Hire me. I'm already hired."
Yeah. Fire Nagy. Yeah, he probably would. He actually thinks he's a smart coach.
Well, he's lost the locker room too, as rumor has it.
Really?
Jalen Johnson said something that was pretty crazy. He said something like, if you look up this Jalen Johnson quote recently, it basically said, called out Matt Nagy almost verbatim, just said like, we don't need this rah-rah bullshit for the sixth game in a row. We need to be held accountable. And it was like a shot
I
directly
think
at
I
Nagy.
remember that. Yeah.
It's easy to criticize, but how do you fix it?
Right.
You
And
need a
that's a
real
rookie,
coach.
too.
Because you need 10 years, and you need to start from the bottom up, and you need to redo everything.
So the
Alan-
rumor is Ted Phillips.
Players, you need to put more money into the line. You got to protect the quarterback. If you get that down, they've got a solid team. Otherwise, the coaching staff, I wouldn't keep them.
It's the play calling, too. It's brutal.
But that's the
Yeah.
coaching staff.
So
Right.
the McCaskies are never going to stop.
Offense, defense, whatever. It's just coaching staff. That's why they got to go. The players are good. They leave us and they go do great things. We had Gronkowski for a while. Look at him.
I think Ted Phillips. So Ted Phillips is the president of football operations. The rumor is, and granted this has been a rumor for a while now, that they will make him president of business apps and then hire a brand new football mind, and that might get the Bears out of football purgatory.
Do you go get Peyton? Do you go get who's that?
No,
Who's
no,
that really
no.
smart black guy who talks for ESPN? Louis Riddick.
Yes, Louis Riddick for sure.
All right, I got another weird one for you. The Steelers are 0 for 230 when trailing by 17 in the fourth quarter. They almost did it for the first time against the Chargers and then still somehow found a way to lose. I think Mike Williams had a great play at the end there.
They have another crazy stat.
0 out of 230.
They had another crazy stat they said during the Bears game, which it was like 240 and 0 and 2 as far as like winning in the third quarter.
Yeah. Oh, guys, speaking of Justin Herbert, I'm saying this. I think Justin Herbert, within a year or two, will be the best QB in the league. What do you think?
100% agree with that. He
Totally.
looks, on his best days, it's beautiful.
I thought
like
we knew that already.
He's having a weird season this year. He's had some bad games.
Yeah, inconsistent, yeah. But he throws such a nice ball. It's like, holy crap. It's like, zoop.
I forgot who said it, but what do you guys think about the Bills? Because someone said like the Bills started off good, but now
they're in
They look
trouble.
weird. They look weird.
They were
fault is it?
my second. Those were my second. That was my second cut. I did the Giants defense, but the Bills were right behind them.
My Bills theory is that Titans game where they went for the win, I think on 4th and goal or something, and didn't get it. It's all been downhill from there. That something happened psychically there.
It's really messed them
All
up.
right, boys, let's do this because it's such a weird year. Who is the best team in the NFL? Go.
Bengals.
Bengals.
I believe in the Bengals. I'm telling you.
Best team?
It's tough. Name a team that hasn't taken a loss. Name one.
They all have.
You can't. There's
I'm
no
going
one.
Rams. I'm going Rams.
Rams is a good pick.
I'm going Rams.
Rams? No, dude.
Rams. I'm going Rams.
They looked like it at the beginning of the season. I've fallen
But
off the Rams.
everyone has done that. So, it's
Been some surprising games this year. A lot
They
of them.
lost the last two. Nobody produced numbers.
I think the Patriots,
no way.
the Ravens,
Dude, the Packers.
and the Packers. Yeah, I like the
Packers,
Patriots, the
Packers.
Ravens. I'm sorry, the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Packers.
The Cowboys looked all right.
Cowboys look
Cowboys
good when
have
it's their
dropped
day.
too, I think.
Yeah. And again, the Chiefs look good.
I
when
like
it's
Jack's
their day.
Bengals. Bengals would be the coolest one for it to be.
Speaking of awesome teams, what about awesome teams in our league? Steph and Kyle, who do you guys think is going to win the league?
Did we lose him?
He's got like a horseshoe up his butt.
Bruce?
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
The newcomer.
Yeah, newcomer. Congratulations to them, by the way. Becky and Bruce are having their second child.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Congrats.
Nice.
Jeffrey, you already made your prediction. Danny
sorry,
did
James?
not. Danny did not make his prediction though. Everybody
Yeah,
else here.
we need Danny's prediction.
Then I'm gonna throw in Colts.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. But who in our
Colts win
league?
the Super Bowl.
He's talking about our league now,
Yeah,
dude.
but who in our league?
Who's gonna win?
Yeah.
In our league.
Colts.
Team Danky Punch.
Yeah.
1%.
The pride. The pride.
I believe in my boys.
Uncle Jay's gonna be a problem, dude.
But
Uncle
Danny,
Jay's gonna be
whose
a
boys
problem.
do you really believe in?
Well, see, so I feel like because Bruce is the obvious answer, but he's got the type of team that biffs it like a game before the final. You know,
Right.
that
Well,
like
he's gonna be. He gets a bye.
I'm saying
Right now,
I
as it
can see him
stands.
just blowing up at the end. So I think Uncle Jay's team is really good.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking to, Uncle Jay.
And then I could see Tommy doing it.
I don't know. I've had a rough. I lost to Jeff. You know that's a bad sign.
That's not a good. Well, you got to figure out Daniel Jones, but everyone else on there is good.
Yeah, Daniel Jones has been giving me heck.
It's because you
Lightweight.
paid a lot of money for him, so you care about him more than you should.
Yeah, that's true.
You just got to get rid of him, dude. Yeah,
It's
seriously.
So true.
Cut your
It's
losses.
So true.
Yo, drop him, play Ty Johnson.
I'll put
He just
Tim
drops him on stream.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
I'll put Robbie Anderson
Yeah.
in. Yeah, Bruce puts up the most points again. Wild.
Yeah, this week is like Bruce kind of he showed. I don't know if it was this.
He showed he could play.
He had two
Yeah.
new quarterbacks. He started 2 new quarterbacks.
Jeff, you couldn't wait one more week to make your miraculous beat one of the top teams. You're playing Bruce next week,
Let's go, Jimmy G.
or I should say this week.
If
got a
Bruce
crazy ending.
loses out, that's the only way anybody can top him right now.
I got you, boys. I got you.
Someone's got to beat him like.
Otherwise, he's
week
gonna get
one.
the bye. He's gonna get the bye, and he's gonna be already in the top 4.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah, but he has shitty
that's where
quarterbacks.
he's
So, I mean, we'll
looking
see.
at.
His team is awesome.
I don't know, dude. Eckler put up a crazy game. For some reason, Tua seems
38,
to
yeah.
be doing okay.
And you got
Yeah, I don't understand how Tua gets points.
Yeah, what happened?
He looks terrible every time I watch those games.
I can't watch him. It's not good. I'm not a Tua fan.
No.
What did Greg Joseph do again this week? He hit a bomb or something.
Oh yeah, he won the game against the Packers.
Yeah, that's what it was. With a long ball. Long ball, Joseph.
Oh, Long John.
Oh, Long Johnson.
Well,
Don't say anything for 45 minutes.
all right, boys and girls. I mean, any last final thoughts? Any final questions? Shout outs?
Are the Vikings good?
3 weeks left. Looks like we got a lot of parity. We got like 6 people fighting for those last 4 spots.
Hey, you guys. What's a pick six?
Pick 6. Well,
When you take
For all you
interception.
Rugby fans out there, what's a pick six?
well.
No one's gonna explain it to us.
No one knows what it is. It's like, no.
There's like a take 5 bar, and then they have like an offshoot.
There's a longer
Pick
candy
six.
bar called the Pick 6.
Stephanie, the real
They add
question.
almonds.
Stephanie, the real question is, what is BOFA?
Bank of America?
That's actually what I thought.
That's a good guess.
Do you know who Bofa is?
Pick six.
And she has gotten all the credit for all of her fantasy teams.
70 a pick 6 was an interception return for a touchdown.
By the defense.
But I can't tell you what Bofa is. You got to figure out what Bofa is yourself.
Well, you'll have to quiz me next week. See if I remember that.
Bofa these nuts!
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Cricket.
I was yawning when I yelled it.
All right, like and subscribe, everybody, for more Throwing Ropes podcast. Greatly appreciate Steph and Kyle joining us this week. Any other guys, goody two shoes, good go and stuff going on?
Yes, this is Dan K. I'll be at the soup kitchen on Wednesday. Hope to get a turkey. Thank you.
All right, happy Turkey Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
y'all. I'm
Thanksgiving.
out of here.
Thanks,
Later.
Jeffrey, for hopping on. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Take 5, Jack and Danny hopping on. Kyle and Stephanie, thank you for hopping on. Awesome to get you guys on the show.
Later, everybody.
Tommy, thanks for co-hosting.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week
Good
for
night.
week 12. Good luck. Only 3 weeks left. All right,
Night, guys.
time to say chuck it. All right, everybody, have a great one. Bye.
$10 chuck it.
Woo.
A boom, ba 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 It'd have been. It wasn't just been very working today.
Nice hat.